Two American rap moguls are suing the Mississippi Department of Corrections following the deaths of 5 inmates this month alone. Yo Gotti and Team Roc, the philanthropy group under Jay-Z's company Roc Nation, have provided lawyers for 29 inmates who claim the deaths are a result of a guard shortage and abysmal conditions inside the prison. These are just some of the photos taken from inside Mississippi State Penitentiary. The prison has a long history of violence and inadequate living conditions. In 2018, 16 inmates were killed in a prison riot. Recording artist Yo Gotti is here with me now to break down the lawsuit and the conditions inside Mississippi's prison system. Thank you so much for joining us. So this has been a long-standing problem in Mississippi. I know we've got these recent deaths, but it's nothing new. You're not from Mississippi. Jay-Z is not from Mississippi. You're from Tennessee, right?
Memphis.
So why participate in this lawsuit? Why was it important for you?
Well, Memphis is like, Mississippi is like a street over. Like if you cross a red light,
right.
cross one red light, you in Mississippi. So it's really like, you know, our backyard to our hometown, like our tri-state area. And it's just, you know, inhumane situations, you know, knowing people that have been in prison before, you know, and just thinking everybody should be treated like a human is, you know, our reason.
Yeah. Can we talk about some of the conditions that you found the most egregious? When you started to hear stories, what sort of struck you?
I mean, lack of food, the way people sleeping on the floors, the lack of staff, and so it's really unsafe, you know what I mean? They can't really control the prison.
This is not new for Mississippi, though. There have been other lawsuits. The ACLU has sued. Families of people inside the prisons have sued. Why this method? Why do you think this is the way to go?
I mean, I think we just got to do what we got to do. You know, we're in the process right now creating a rally down there so the voices can be heard, you know what I mean? Making sure that they feel us, that they feel that, you know, we trying to do something about it. We trying to make a change in it. So, like I said, we're in the process right now of setting up a whole rally down there to make sure the words be heard.
Do you think, is it that politicians, lawmakers, they don't care?
I don't know, but they should, if that's the case.
Because a huge part of the problem with the prison system down there that many have complained about is that it's just a basic lack of funding. And you know, there are public prisons, there are private prisons. They're just not putting enough money into the infrastructure. They're not paying the guards, so they don't have enough guards working, so even the people working there are scared for their lives. You have prisoners who are going in for nonviolent crimes and finding themselves in very violent situations. And it's been an ongoing issue. What do you want the governor to hear from you? Because I just heard the governor, he was asked about who was responsible for some of these deaths, and he said the prisoners were responsible for the deaths.
That's a lack of responsibility. You know, it's a lack of responsibility. Everybody's still human. They can't live in inhumane situations. You know, some of the people that's in there, you gotta remember, some people may be criminals and some people are awaiting trial. Some people in there wrongly convicted. Some people can't afford bond. You know, so I don't think that's their fault.
I know that Mississippi has been working, because it had been a 3 strikes you're out state, and which means a lot of people ended up in prison for life, sometimes for nonviolent crimes. They've been working to reduce the prison population, and they have somewhat, but they haven't reinvested the money in the prison system.
Yeah, we got to figure out something they have to do about that, you know. You just can't have people sleeping on the floors, not getting food, not getting water. You know, it's supposed to be a rehabilitation program. You know, not where people lose their lives at.
So how did this all come about? Did you approach Jay-Z, or how did it all sort of develop?
I think similar passions and it been important to both of us. And when I first started hearing about it, being there close to my home state, I immediately reached out.
And what was Jay-Z's reaction?
Super supportive.
He's a busy guy.
Yeah, the whole team Roc, you know, I think we want the same outcome, and that's the focus.
Is it your role as an artist to get involved in these sort of discussions about politics and this type of conversation? Because, you know, some people are going to say, what do you know? You know, you have a great life. You know, you've got money, you travel probably on private jets. What do you know about this?
Well, me personally, I know a lot about it, you know, because, you know, I grew up in a family where my brother was in prison. My father was in prison. My aunties was in prison. So I'm very familiar with it. You know, I've been to many prisons to visit family members, friends in prison, you know, so I'm very close to it, me, myself, personally. And I don't think it had to do with the artist, just being a human being in general and seeing what's happening, it should affect you.
What does a prison stay do to a person, depending on their experience? A bad prison versus a decent prison. What does it do to a person when they come out?
I think every person is different.
Yeah.
You know, I think what we hope we do it is you'll never go back to it. You know what I mean? Hopefully you learn your lesson, you get rehabilitated. You know what I'm saying? You know that ain't a place where no human want to spend their time at.
Yeah.
And you never go back there. Hopefully that's what happens.
Because it's easy to dismiss convicts, prisoners. It's easy to say, well, don't spend the money there, spend it on healthcare or education or something else, because they shouldn't behave the way, you know, you don't break the law if you don't want the punishment. And for people who say that, what do you say?
Again, like, it's a court system, and who to say who really broke the law, who really didn't. You know, I don't know who, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of people that did and didn't in the same exact facility. So the way the facility should be ran, got to be up to, you know, it's real humans in here.
Well, it's good that you're shining a light on this. It is needed. You are not the first, but hopefully this will be the last. And with the star power behind it, hopefully it'll make a big difference. Yo Gotti, thank you.
Thank you.